All right. This is a tutorial about LISPs. So first, let me make sure that does pull up. Okay, perfect. So this is a tutorial about LISPs. In CAD, there are a ton of commands. Move that. And the commands are super encompassing. One thing that I've found that I noticed from other people that I went to school with was if there's something that you think AutoCAD should be able to do, it can probably do it. And if you are wasting time doing something tedious, there's probably a way for CAD to do it, and you should try and figure out what that way might be. Sometimes, though, you'll get to certain situations where there isn't anything that is designed in AutoCAD that can accomplish what you're trying to do. So I just explained, for example, labeling all of the contours at once. That's something that AutoCAD isn't currently set up to do, and therefore can make our lives kind of hard because we have a lot of things that because it takes a lot of time to label all those contours. I also showed you the example of deleting all the little tiny straggling circles in a map. There's going to be all kinds of things that you encounter that you're like, I wish that AutoCAD could do this, and it can't. Enter LISPs. LISPs are lines of code that you write yourself that are custom CAD commands. They can be as long as you want, and they can do anything that you are able to code. Up until now, that hasn't been super helpful because I personally don't know how to code, and so I don't know how to code my own LISPs. And so I've had to rely on LISPs that that community members have made and posted online, which meet their needs, not my needs precisely. Sometimes I find some that are great, but sometimes I have things that no one else really cares to do. So with AI tools, we can now code our own LISPs, and it's amazing. So I'm going to show you how I coded the LISP for labeling all of the contours. And you can apply this in so many different ways. So I open the internet and I go to Gemini.com. You could use anything, but I really like Gemini. I find that it works super well. I'm going to put it in thinking mode. And what I want it to do is to create an AutoCAD LISP that adds contour labels on every contour on a surface that is longer than 50 feet. The labels should be at an interval of 300 feet from each other. Let's see, what else do I want it to do? If the contour line is shorter than 600 feet, only add one label. And if it is shorter than 100 feet, do not add a label. So I made this one earlier, but one thing that I actually noticed was a problem with it was if I have other, like if I had fairway lines drawn, I don't want it to include those. Ask which layers to include for labeling the contour lines. Whichever layers I select, use all the lines in that layer and label, and if I can spell, label them accordingly. All right, let's try that. Submit. It's going to write a Lisp selection. It asks you for the layer names. Filtering. It ignores any line and polyline shorter than 50 feet. 50 feet to 100 feet, no label. 100 feet to 600 feet, one label in the center. Over 600 feet, labels every 300 feet. placement. It calculates the elevation based on the z-coordinates, aligns the text to the direction of the line. Great. Okay, so here's the code. It has instructions for use. There you go. So you can include that. It has it listed as smart label in the command line. So I'm going to copy the code, and I'm going to open, on Windows, I'm going to open the Notepad. In the Notepad, I'm going to paste my information. Actually, hold on, this is an old one, so let me just do a new one. So I'm going to paste all the code, then I'm going to click Command S for save, and I'm going to save it to a location. I have this saved in a LISP file that I have. The command here, what did we say the command was? It was smart label. Smart label. Yeah, so I'm going to name this smart label.lsp. Save. All right, I can exit this. Now, back in my CAD file, I want to run the command appload, which will open a box, and it lets me select a file name. So I'm going to click load a file. Oh, here, this has this looking in. So this, if I find my folder that they're saved in, this already opens it up for me because I use them quite a bit. And I want to use smart label, which I just made, and say load. Publisher, it's not trusted. Do you really want to trust this? I always, if I made it, I usually say always load. You might want to think about that, because if somebody else wrote it, they could install a virus in that, but I trust this system. So I always load, and then I close, and now it works just like a command. So if I type in smart label, you can see I've got smart label contours, which is an older one, the other one that I made, but this is the one we just made. So smart label, enter the layer names. So that's something I probably want to change, is I probably want not to enter the layer names. I probably just want to use select layers. So I could go in and edit that with Gemini and tell Gemini, hey, I want it to do this instead. But let's just do this. So C topo existing major, comma, C topo existing minor. Those are my layers. Bad argument. C topo. Okay, so smart labels. C topo existing majr major, comma, C topo existing minor, minr. I think that's where I went wrong. Enter. Bad argument. Smart label C topo existing major. No contour lines found. Okay. So, you know what? Let's go back to Gemini. I don't want to I don't want to type the layer names. I want to select objects from the layers I want, and then it should select all the objects on that layer for me. Let's try again. Gives you a classic AI response. Oh yeah, great idea. All right, there's the new code. Let's go back to the Notepad. You can just open the same one and just select all, paste to replace, save. And now let's go app load, smart label, load. Smart label. Select objects on the layer you want to label. Here we go. That one and that one. And now it has ran, it has labeled everything. Select similar. I can change this height, 2.5, and there they all are. So, something weird happened down here. Oh, it just labeled the end of them because it ran out of space. So LISPs are super powerful, and if there's ever something that you think that AutoCAD should be able to do that it can't do for some reason, a LISP could probably solve your problem.